Hi, thanks for joining me today for this angel clearing. Today we're going to join our energies, our intentions together to help clear the energies and the ancestors from the old world buildings that were at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. There's a few buildings. The information I first found showed that there was 4 buildings still there on the site, but I've kind of heard indicated afterwards that there's just the one large building, the Palace of Fine Arts, that's still standing, that is now the Museum of Science and Industry. And so um, I have pictures of some of the others too, and we'll just go with the flow and see for if those buildings aren't there, the extra buildings beside the Palace of Fine Arts. If the others aren't there, then we'll go ahead and clear what's underground or and within a distance from those buildings. So we'll see what we find. So thanks for joining me to do this. And I feel it's very important work to the ancestors that were forgotten, right, from long ago and not so long ago. And so we'll go ahead and start. So there's just an overview of some of the buildings, and I'll change the pictures as I go along. I have about 6 or 8 pictures here. So we'll start. And so just hold the intention that we're clearing these energies and helping the ancestors clear clearing the emotions that are stored in the land and the buildings and the ancestors, so that the energy of those and the ley lines that they're built on and the waters that flow through there can all increase in voltage and positive energy, so that we can restore the energy grid eventually. And every full moon, we do a tuning for the old world energy grid to help activate, amplify, restore, repair, and restore, repair, all the other words. I have a list, but I didn't have it in front of me today. Those good things to restore the energy grid and thus help all of us living as well. And so we'll go ahead and get started. There we go. This is the building of the Palace of Fine Arts there in Chicago. And so I'll just ask the angels to do their clearing. And we'll clear the energies first. We'll go underground to the tunnels, any waters down there as well as tunnels. I feel the pressure. I feel the intention in my root chakra, safety, security, abundance. It also has to do with family relations. I'm feeling a lot of energy clearing moving through my body. Now we're working specifically in the waters there, fountains, lakes, rivers, whatever pertains to all the waters that are there. I just feel it's very important to join our energies together, our intentions together to make these clearings happen, to restore and repair and renovate the grid. I was in the Museum of Science and Industry back in the summer of 1978. It would have been in June, I believe, the first couple weeks of June when we were there. I went with a group, a church group that had gone there. Um, and this wasn't one of the buildings that necessarily to pertain to what we were doing, but it was a sightseeing thing. We also went up in the Sears Tower. Um, and of course, this building is used today. It's occupied throughout the daytime hours or main business hours. So we'll clear the public places there as well as the private places. We won't be clearing the energy of the living that are there or of the objects that pertain to them that they might have there, their belongings or such, or their desks or their private things that are there. But we'll be clearing the building, the energies in the building here to um, of the old world that is stuck, that's not happy. There's some definitely um, sadness there involved in not fulfilling the purpose that it was meant to fulfill. Some of the things that are missing, so we'll tune those now. Tune what was missing, what was in the buildings during from the old world long before the Chicago's World Fair. Those any parts of those that still exist that haven't been completely destroyed wherever they're at, wherever whatever they are. Um, the parts that were built are wanting to fulfill their purpose, and so we'll release them from there or restore, um, hopefully, to restore those parts to the museum at some point or to the this old world building at some point. But otherwise, to clear and release that energy of that longing to be part so that they can fulfill whatever they're meant to fulfill at this point, that they could find restoration in some way. And now we'll be clearing, cleansing the ancestors from the old world buildings before the Chicago Fair at whatever point in time this was, and they're wanting to be part of it, that exists in there, and ancestors still in the waiting place or in the realm of nature around us, and we'll be clearing what needs to be cleared so that they are able to transition to the oneness at whatever point they're ready, and some will be ready today. And the way I've felt or seen that works in my work anyway, that if there's a living descendant of any kind, then they have to do the clearing work. But many of these old world ancestors probably do not have living descendants of any kind. And so they would be able to clear whenever they're ready through this work, or through your intentions, or through um, any other living people that they might decide to clear through. So again, we're just clearing the emotions of the ancestors, particularly right now, from the old world, above ground and below ground. um, Feeling the feeling shift from sadness or longing from the powerlessness to taking responsibility, perhaps for things that they could have done, should have done, would have done if they would have known better, those regrets that hold them back. Um, and I just want to say that for them, that that often things happen the way they do for a particular reason, and we don't always understand. And but we know that those of us living doing this work now need to feel and see and hear and learn about what happened then and the ancestors then and their needs now and how we can help. And this is one of the other buildings that was said to have been then. This is um, the Art Institute. Um, there was the Art Institute then. It may or may not be still standing at the site. Some of the buildings were said to have been disassembled piece by piece and moved elsewhere. Um, um, the article that I was reading said it was still standing, but it may not be. That I didn't do huge amounts of research. So we'll be clearing again from here, above and below ground, all the ancestors, the building itself, the materials that were used, the parts that are no longer there. And I'm seeing water, underground waters. Uh, So we'll cleanse the waters, increase the chi there, the energy flow, remove stagnant energy. Do what we can, or what can be done, what the angels can do to clear the energies and stimulate the old world grid, stimulate the chi throughout the building, especially in this place deep underground. Just giving thanks to the angels for their work in clearing, for their work in guiding us, as well as all the guidance that was given to the ancestors that built the buildings and that would have lived there or been part of what was going on in the old world, as well as the people that were there during the World's Fair and that um, only knew the stories that were told them. Many of them, which perhaps still exist in the waiting place around us. And I'm seeing something like a windmill of some kind. I'm not sure whether this was underground and used as part of stirring the water and airs down there, or if it was, no, it was below ground, whatever this I'm seeing. And we'll um, clear cymatics and colors and shapes and forms and technology of these buildings also. And there were two more buildings that I found pictures of that it was unclear whether they were removed from the site or not. And one was here. This was the toilet building or the outhouse building during the World's Fair, is what the picture had said. 1893 again. Just using my hands to stir the energy as well. I have pictures in my mind of the ladies here dressed in the old, their long dresses, their beautiful ankle length dresses. And I would assume that this was built during in 1893 or for this fair, whereas the other larger buildings were there long before. Is my opinion. And let's see, there was one more building. Um, that's not it. There was one more I'm going to try to find. That wasn't it. I'm going to try to add this one more that I found of a house that was there. There we go. And there. And this was a building, the Main State Building. I guess there were several buildings that had been built there from other countries and other states. A lot of those were disassembled and moved or destroyed. Um, the information I had said that this was still on or near the site. I do not know for sure, but for sure there would be the underground there. If it is still standing, we'll be clearing it or clearing it wherever it is, because there would likely, if it was, especially if it was moved, there were um, no longer parts that were with it that should be with it or that want to be with it. I found many other buildings, but those were definitely said to have been moved from the site. So I did not include them in the pictures here. And we'll also be clearing now within 10 miles of the site, clearing the land within 10 miles of the site. So thank you for joining your intentions with mine, both in these where we tune the individual buildings and where we're tuning the energy grid on every full moon. Please join us for that. The more intentions that are held, the more people who are involved, the greater the shifts and restoration we can help with, and the greater the voltage we can raise for the universe and for ourselves to restore. Okay, we'll move on to the next building here. Let's see, we saw that one. Um, Back to the Museum of Science and Industry and the waters, fountains. Here's another shot. The beautiful old world buildings. And we'll give the ancestors now, those who are ready, able to clear, to transition to the oneness, and we'll allow them to clear from the vortex, ley line vortex here in my room, or from any place they're able to, wherever they're at. They're grateful for our work. They're grateful for the chance to end their waiting and move on. There's sadness for um, the wastedness of the purpose of the original old world buildings. But glad that the buildings can be used for something. Wanting to restore the purpose of these buildings. To that they might live long and prosper. That it might help us, the living, for now, this generation, and for generations to come. Final shifting of the ancestors here. Any other energy that needs to clear? One more change of pictures here. We're just clearing now the memory of the people, the lies that were told, the hearts and minds that want better. And for us today, truth and understanding, understanding, clarity, protection if needed, restoration of our hearts and minds, and of the earth and of the buildings in the world here. Giving great thanks to the ancestors for all that they've done, for their lives, for being here today to share with us, and for um, for the angels for their clearing, for chi throughout the world, for universal spirit, for God, for every breath we take, every understanding we have, any um, um, clearing of the old thought patterns and old emotions that have been unhelpful or no longer purpose at this point, that we can clear in ourselves and in the ancestors, to raise our voltage and that of the universe. Thank you all. If you please like and subscribe, I appreciate you watching. And again, please join us on the full moon for the Old World Energy Grid tunings, as well as my weekly tunings, Biofield tunings that um, help us integrate our energies with the astrological energies of each week and each day of the week, so that we can make use of those energies that the universe is providing for us to grow and clear. And that concludes our session today. And I give you thanks, um, and wish you all the best. Bye.